Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And today I'm going to show you how I made a card. I'm hoping that this is not on here sideways. Hang on a second. I'm checking here because it looks a little funny on my screen on my phone. And, oh, okay, I think it's on here the right way. Okay, we're good. A little thing popped on from the side and I thought, oh no, is this all crazy and crooked? But no, I think we're good. All right, so I am going to show you how I made a little card with a gift card holder inside it for the holidays. So this is a quick and easy little card, and hopefully, again, I'm hoping that this is live and all good to go, but it's just acting a little strange. So hopefully somebody will join in and let me know that they're here, and hopefully the alert went out that I'm actually live. So here we are. Okay. So this is the card we're going to be making today. Again, this is with the Christmas banners stamp set. And again, just made a little gift card holder on the inside of it. And that's it. So it's super cute or super easy to make. Kind of stole a little bit of the design from the mini catalog. There's a card on the front cover of the mini catalog that's got a similar design to this, only they used embossed little hexagons, and I just cut them from designer series paper. So, hey, Carol, thanks for joining. I'm glad you're here. I started to wonder if I was like by myself or what was going on. It's been a little, I don't know, acting a little strange, but I think we're good. Hopefully I'm live where I should be. And I am still getting over a little bit of a runny nose and cold, so I apologize for coughing and hacking. I do have a drink nearby, so hopefully if I, really start coughing, I'll be able to go grab a drink. And like I said, my nose keeps running, and anyway, all good. All right, so this is the card we're making. Again, like I said, it's got a little gift card holder on the inside of it. So quick and easy for the holidays. That's kind of the mode that I'm in right now. It's just trying to get things finished up and done. So yay for that. Hey, Marilyn, glad you're joining today. So this is the stamp set that the sentiment on the card front came from. This is the Christmas banner stamp set. It is in the current July to December mini catalog from Stampin' Up. And there's a coordinating die set that goes with it. This is Christmas banners with an S on it, and these are the Christmas banner dies. So they coordinate, and again, cut out the stamped images as well as some accessory pieces. I just used it for the sentiment and to cut the banner, so that's all there is for that one. Couple of other things that I used on this. I used the Christmas season stamp set on the inside for the little pine cones. This is one that is in the current annual catalog and has been around for a little while. So we have this one, and it is a photopolymer, so it's easy to see through and stamp with. And also have the Christmas to Remember stamp set. Again, this is one from the annual catalog, and it's a carryover item. And I just used, again, the sentiment on the inside is from that stamp set. Then I used a couple of die sets. So this is the Christmas pine cone dies, and I actually have it not on two sheets, not on a big sheet. So it's a great big die set. And these are designed to layer one over the top of the other. Whoops, probably this way around here. And then the pine cones can layer over the top of that. I just used this little die for the greenery, and then used the pine cone dies for my little pine cones on here. And the final, well, I'm almost there on the stamp sets and dies. I used kind of a lot of them. Hold on. So this is the mini pocket envelope dies. These are from the annual catalog, and that is what I used to cut the little gift card holder on the inside. And I guess I can pull the gift card out and show you a little bit more what this looks like. So gift cards fit in here perfectly, and if you want to, you can fold the top over. There are little accessory pieces to decorate it with. I was trying to keep it a little simpler, so I just used the die cut and went ahead and stuck it on the inside of the card. All right, the final die set that I used, and I swear this is the last one, is the hexagon dies, or the, I'm sorry, they're not hexagon, they're called Beautiful Shapes dies. And I used this kind of the smallest of the individual hexagons, and that's what I cut all the little hexagons on the background of my card with from the designer series paper. So those are the stamp sets and the dies. Hey, Barbara, thanks for joining. Like I said, I'm assuming that my notification probably didn't go out again from Facebook because there's only like 4 people here. So it's all good. We'll do the video and, everybody else can watch later. So, all right. One thing to know about Stampin' Up! Has got the Fitting Florets promotion going on right now. Through the 4th of January, you can get the Fitting Florets items. There are some new things that are coming in the upcoming catalog. The Framed Florets Stamp Set Bundle. So it's dies, stamp set. These will be in the next mini catalog. The Framed and Festive Stamp Set, which is a Christmas stamp set that coordinates with this, will not be in the next catalog. So that you'll need to get now. And then we've got the Fitting Florets 12 by 12 Designer Series paper pack, and that is also a while supplies last item. There were some gold adhesive back swirls, and those have already sold out, so they're gone in the U.S. I don't know about other countries, but I know in the U.S. they're gone. So you got a notification. I'm not sure what's going on. I had this happen one other time where it was like me and 2 other people, but oh well, all good. We're still here, and we're the important ones. So, all right. Let me do another little, hopefully clear my throat. I wasn't having too much issue, but I wasn't talking a whole lot earlier to myself. So, all right. So this is thick basic white cardstock, and that's what I've cut the card base from. This one I actually did because I wanted it to open this way with the gift card in it. You can do the top fold if you'd like to, but I wanted it to open on the side with my little gift card. So I cut this as a 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4 down the middle card base. And then I cut a bunch of hexagons, 9 of them in total. 2 of them are half ones, but because I cut them from the edge of the piece, but I actually am going to need half ones just with the way that I laid out the design. So I've got 9 of these little hexagons cut. And what I did to start with was I just kind of laid out my pattern, how I thought I wanted it to look on the card front, and kind of got things put in the spot where I thought they should be. The only thing, this one isn't really a directional paper, but there are, hopefully you can see this, hey Penny, there are little lines that go up and down in it, so I was trying to keep the lines all going the same direction. I don't know that I would have needed to do that, but I just felt like it looked a little more, I don't know, a little more cohesive with it than having them turned whatever which way, but you could turn it whatever which way if you wanted to. So then I just kind of laid these out and kept putting them down here on the card front until I got to the pattern that I liked and kind of placement that I thought worked with the card. Oop, but I've got this one turned the wrong way as I say that. I've got them all turned the right way. So that was kind of how I laid them out. So again, if you have whole pieces, you can certainly do the whole ones on here. But this is what I did to start with, and then just took my Stampin' Seal and started sticking these down to the card front. So again, I just left the others in place and grabbed the one that I was wanting to adhered that one down, and then picked up the next one in line, stuck that one down, and then went on to the next one. And that was kind of how I did it to make sure that everything sort of stayed where I wanted it to stay, and that I didn't have any surprises when I got done, because sometimes when you adhere things on, particularly a large number of them on a card front, things can start to get kind of misaligned, and you don't realize it until you get all the way to the point where you're at the last one, and then things don't fit the way they want, the way you want them to on the card front. So I just thought with the little hexagons, it was easy just to put them all down, and then pick up each individual one, stick it down, and then when I get done sticking them all down, come on, Stampin' Seal, there we go. Then I will just trim off the excess that overhangs the card where I don't want it to be. So. All right. Hopefully you are enjoying your Tuesday, I guess we're on. I can't even believe that. Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I'm not sure where the whole month of November went, but it's gone. So hopefully you had a good one. And, hopefully you're going to do something fun for Thanksgiving, or at least take a little time off and eat some good food. That's mainly what I'm all about on Thanksgiving, is just eating a lot of stuff. So lots of pie. We do prime rib at our house for Thanksgiving, so I'm kind of looking forward to that, because that's not something that we always get to have here. So always nice to do something a little different. And here's the final one that I'm sticking down here. And my sister's already here. She's out in the other room. Probably she can hear me talking to myself in here, and she's probably going to be laughing through the door at me. So, all right. So there we go. Got everything laid out on the card front. And then I'm just going to take this and flip it over, and then I'm just going to snip off. If you prefer to use your paper trimmer, you certainly can do that, or you can take your paper snips, whatever you like best for trimming off the little extra pieces. But just take your snips or trimmer and trim off anything that's hanging over the card front where you don't want it to be hanging. And that's it for the hexagons. So that's pretty easy. Just die cut, again, 9 of them, laid them out arranged them the way they wanted them to look on the card front, and then stuck them down. So super easy. So traditional turkey at your house, yep. So yeah, I know a lot of people do that. I just look at it and say turkey's a lot of work. And when I get done with it, I don't want to just have a turkey. So we do prime rib, and that's why. So, all right. I have got a garden green piece of cardstock that I cut with the Christmas pine cone dies. Again, I used the kind of more detailed die and just cut a chunk of garden green cardstock with it. I didn't even cut the whole thing, just a chunk of it, because I knew I was only going to need a few of the little sprigs around here. And so I'm just going to take a couple of the sprigs and snip them off. And again, I apologize about the runny nose. Goodness, my nose was not running very much today until, of course, I start talking, and then it's like, bleh. So, all right. Hey, Bonnie, glad you're here. Darlene as well, and no worries on being late. I'm usually running late myself, so all good. All right, so I'm going to take a couple of the little sprigs, and I'm going to take one and put it down towards the bottom, and the 2 others up here towards the top. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to stick it down. And then I'm going to bring in my pine cones just to make sure that everything's going to land where I want it to be. And again, I cut these ahead of time. This is garden green cardstock. This is early espresso, and this is crumb cake. And again, they were all cut with the Christmas pine cone dies. So the crumb cake are cut with the solid, and then the early espresso were cut with these little detailed dies. A couple of these, I did do 3 pine cones in total. 2 of them I stuck together already because, again, watching people glue is not exactly awesome or fun to do. But I did want to show you that they're really quick and easy to put together. Doing ham this year, you're making the stuffing because that's the best part. See, I'm the pie person. That's the best part to me. Stuffing, I could take or leave. Pie, there's no leaving that at my house. So, and we actually make it's a cheesy hash brown potatoes. And so they're not at all traditional, whatever you want to think of for holiday. It's hash brown potatoes and a lot of cheese and some cream soups. And they're very bad for you, but they're very good. So that's what we do. That's the thing that I could eat like the whole pan of. Stuffing, I could take or leave it. So, all right, so just stuck these together with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And actually, I didn't make too big of a mess, which is kind of nice because sometimes I do that. And then I'm going to take this one and stick it to the card front with a couple of little glue dots here. And again, I generally know where I want it to land, so I'm just going to set it down here because I'm going to tuck my greenery in around that. So I'm going to take the greenery, put a little glue dot on the back of that, and then tuck it in under my larger pine cone because I want it just peeking out around the edge. And then I'll smush that down, and then I've got my little pine cones that are already done here. I'm going to put a couple glue dots on the back of those. I know those potatoes are really yummy, and they're so bad for you that we only make them at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Other than that, we don't make them at our house because, they're really not good for you, but man, they are good. So, all right. Oh, and I got a glue dot that I stuck in the way wrong spot, so that's sticking out, and I don't want that sticking out, so we'll just roll that up, tuck it under. There we go. And then I'm going to take my other little greenery sprig and stick that one down here. Again, with just a little bit of a glue dot, tuck it down here underneath. And then my other little pine cone, we will tuck that one in. And maybe I'll only do one glue dot on that one so that hopefully I don't end up sticking it crazy. All right, we will do that. And we're getting close to having a lot of the card front done. Just have a little bit of stamping and a couple of embellishments to put down, and we're all good on that. So I've got basic white cardstock, and we are going to stamp in early espresso ink the little banner image from the Christmas banner stamp set. One of these days I'll remember all of the names of the stamp sets, and then I'll forget where I put them all. So, all right, so I've got this banner die, or banner image, early espresso ink. And I'm just going to ink it up, hopefully get a good solid inking on it. And if not, we'll flip the paper over and we'll do it again. And I better turn this like this because I think I'm a little short going the other way. Just wanted to make sure it was on the paper and not off the edge. All right, there we go. And I'm not sure that there's really an up and a down on this. You can choose whichever way. So if you prefer it to look like that, you can look like that. Or if you prefer it to look like this, you can look like this. So I think it's up to you which way you want to do it. I feel like this looks a little more correct, but again, I don't know that there's an up or a down on it. And then again, from the Christmas banner stamp set, I've got the seasons and greetings, and that's what I'm going to use. Hey, Julie, glad you're here. Glad you're catching me live today. So I got seasons greetings, and I've got real red ink, and I'm just going to stamp it. Again, the little photopolymer images make it super easy to stamp these. And we'll put the greetings in there. And that's it for the little banner. So super easy. Again, love that you can do the two color stamping on it. Makes it really quick to do lots of little banners. And then we've got the banner die cut from the Christmas Banners dies. This one is a little bit directional in that, well, maybe it's not. I thought it was. Never mind. I thought there was a way it had to go down when you cut it, but it's not. Either way works. So I'm just going to take this and run it through the die cutting machine. So I'll be back off screen for a second. My voice is going to get a little bit quieter, so I apologize. I'll sound a little faded away, but I'll come back. And there's our little die cut sentiment. Let me put my die back on my magnetic sheet before I lose track of that. And dimensionals, here we go. I will grab a couple of those, and I'm going to put two on the ends, kind of straight up and down. These are my half Stampin' dimensionals because I prefer them cut in half. If you prefer the whole ones, you can certainly use those. And then kind of sideways in the center here. What I'm trying to do is get it not to land on top of a pine cone, and if it does, it's not the end of the world. So, all right, let me flip this over. And this banner barely fits. It probably overhangs just a hair the card front. So just be aware of that. This is one of those banners that it's really close on both sides, but it fits and you can get it into an envelope, and that's the main thing that mattered to me. So, all right, so we've got most of the card front done. The last thing that I added was a couple of the little red rhinestone basic jewels, and I ended up sticking 5 of these all over the card front. I started out with just 3, and then I thought 3's not enough. We need a little more red. So I just kept sticking them and went with 5 instead. So I've got couple here around the card, or around this edge of the sentiment, and then I tucked a couple more in down here. And that's going to be it for the card front. So like I said, super quick and easy. And that's all there is to it. So, all right, the inside of the card, I did die cut this ahead of time, but I'll show you what I did. Is I just took a piece of that same Pine Cone Designer Series paper, and I probably forgot to say this is the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. I probably should have mentioned that to start with. And then use this little die from the mini pocket envelope dies, and the die, when you're cutting with it, it measures about 4 1/4 at the tallest point by about 5 1/4. So it will easily cut on a 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper. And you just run it through your die cutting machine on top of whatever. You can do it with cardstock or whatever paper it is that you prefer. Now, why am I struggling to put this back? There we go. Well, that's still not right. There we go. I knew I had this on here a certain way. Good heavens, easy. All right, so got this, and I did die cut it. When you cut it, it actually has got score lines on it. So you'll see there's one here sort of in the middle of it, and then a couple along the edges here. And these are really quick and easy to put together. The only place you're going to put adhesive is on these 2 little score spots right here. And I'm using liquid glue, so take a deep breath with me and hope for the best, because liquid glue and I are not always friends, but I will try not to get too heavy-handed with it. I'll try not to make a mess. And then I'm just going to take those little flaps, fold them in here towards the center. Try not to get glue all over me. And fold it closed. Come on now. Here we go. fold, fold. There we go. Okay. Fold it, and I'm going to flip it over and kind of smoosh it down, make sure that I've got everything lined up on the front. Use my bone folder, do a quick roll over everything, and give it just a second to dry. And I'm sorry if I'm wiggling the screen all over the place, but just giving it a second to dry to make sure everything holds on here. You can use the Stampin' Seal Plus if you would prefer. The only thing is that the little flaps are narrow, so just be careful when you're putting it on there. If you use the Seal Plus, you're going to kind of have to roll it and make sure that it sticks to itself and isn't hanging off the edge, because if it's hanging off the edge, then when you go to put your gift card inside it, you're going to end up with your gift card not wanting to go in and out easily because it's going to have glue all over it. So that's why I stuck with the liquid glue on it, which I normally don't do, but I wanted something that wasn't going to get everywhere, as long as I didn't make a big mess with it and do too much glue on it. All right, so then I just took Stampin' Seal and put a little bit of it on the back of my little pocket, and then I just stuck it on the inside of the card. So if there's probably a more creative way that you can use it, but I thought this was kind of a nice way to be able to give a card as well as a gift card tucked inside it without it just, you know, laying there and floating around inside the card. So repositioning dies is a mental exercise. Yes, you are correct, Julie. So, all right. And I thought it was only, I don't know, these, and I swear, I have these all laid out, and I'm like, I'll remember exactly where this came from, and then I lift it off, and 3 seconds later, I can't remember where it came from. So, all right, the inside of the card, a little bit more stamping, and we'll be all done here. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I've got the sentiment from the Christmas to Remember stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in real red ink. Again, just getting it good and inky here. Hopefully got ink all over where I want it to be and not where I don't. Stamping it here on my piece of basic white cardstock. Oop, that did not stamp very nicely, and it was crazy crooked too. Let's try that again. Hopefully we'll get a better one this time around. All right, if it's not or it's upside down, we'll just go with it. So whew, that's better. Happier with that one. And then I stamped the pine cone images from the Christmas season stamp set. This is crumb cake ink, and this is the smaller of the 2 pine cones. And I'm just going to ink it up, stamp one over this way, ink it up, stamp one over this way. And I intended to stamp the early espresso ones first, but I didn't, so we'll give it a whirl and try to do it the backwards way. And then I have early espresso ink for the more detailed pine cone. And I'm going to kind of be guessing a little bit where that lands. Usually I try to stamp the darker one first because I can see through the stamp with the lighter ink. I forgot and did it totally backwards this time around. Meh, they got pretty decent. I'm not going to say they're perfect, but pretty decent. All right, we'll go with it. All right, so that is it for the inside of the card. Let me grab some Stampin' Seal and stick this to the card front. Like the little mini pocket die. Made some cards and attached the gift card holders inside. Yep, it is quick and easy. And yep, definitely. Good way to use them. And I like that it holds the gift card a little bit securely for you, so you don't have to worry about it flying around inside the envelope. All right, stick that down with a little Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to grab my bone folder and give this a quick crease here. And that's going to be it. So super quick and easy. Again, I'm kind of in that mode of trying to get these done for the holidays. So I'm in that mode of whatever I can get done quickly and pretty and still be happy with it. That's what I'm doing. So again, just a quick little gift card holder on the inside. So if you're like me and give a lot of gift cards, that little envelope pocket die, the mini pocket envelope die is actually a really, really good one. Really easy to cut. Get some pretty paper, cut it up, fold them, stick them together, and done. So, all right. So that's it for today. I hope you all, those of you celebrating, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will be back next week, Tuesday, on my Facebook page live with another card project. I will not be doing a card project on Friday. We're going to be doing a little shopping, and my sister's heading back to the airport. So I'll be skipping on my YouTube live on Friday, but I'll be back here on Facebook Live around 2 o'clock Eastern time next week, Tuesday. So So thanks again for joining. I appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy your holiday. Spend some time with family and friends. And we'll chat with you all soon.